Greetings to everyone. You've heard three men give excellent views of Christian education from the educator's view. But there's also a very, very important role in the board. The board is something that is usually made up of lay people. Whether they're businessmen or leaders in the organization. They're like the moral owners. They have a reason to motivate and to have a quality school. So let's look at that from the board member's point of view. Why would a Korean Christian school choose to seek accreditation from an agency that is perceived to be more Western than international? Are there dangers in following a board with a powerful chairperson or a weak board with a strong head administrator or pastor that sometimes is almost the owner in making decisions to implement quality education? To give a thought to these questions, a discussion of the common responsibilities of boards of quality Christian schools is necessary. The role of the Christian school board is twofold: visionary and authoritative. The importance of accreditation should be viewed from both of these perspectives. The Christian school board has the same function as a non-profit organizational board. But as each board responsibility is discussed, I'm also going to share some of the implications of the cultural atmosphere. I've been in Korea about 10 years, and I'm not an expert, but these are the things that I've observed about how culturally might affect the school board and their decisions. The visionary and authoritative roles of the board will be discussed in the light of the Christian school culture. According to Lowry and Lowry, there are 10 major roles of a board member. Of these 10, 6 are related to visionary, and 4 of them are related to authoritative. The responsibilities are: visionary is to provide spiritual leadership, establish the policies, plan strategies, encourage quality people, provide adequate buildings and equipment, and encourage good public relations. It has to do with visionary in the future, not day-to-day type of activities, but where is that school going? And to be able to adequately fulfill these visionary roles, we don't have any time to take care of those day-to-day operations. Reacting to daily problems are not included in the role of the board, and insights can be acquired by taking a look at each of these tasks and the implications. First is spiritual leadership. Christian schools should not be a business venture, but a ministry and an educational setting. The purpose should not be for income to support a congregation. Throughout my husband and I's ministry, we've seen schools started that, there's some more income, there's a way to help our church use the facilities we built. It does happen. From our viewpoint in America, this may have happened here in Korea also. Policies should be visionary, long-reaching into the future. Resolve, which is also based in Australia, says that policies must be based on core values. Let me move this back here. Somehow it's missing. Okay. The core values of the school is what you base your policies on. And these core values need to last for more than one generation. When a school board began, you have a group of people on the school board. These people retire, these people move away, and new people join. Over the years is the same core values that school was founded on. Are they still being realized 30 or 40 years later? Plans for strategies should be made for the next 5 or 10 years to define the steps needed to reach goals based on the core values of the school. Many goals are impossible to reach without looking farther than the year. Sometimes we talk about things that are very large projects, a lot of money, and it can't be realized in just a short time. This planning work is for the administration, but the board needs to make sure that these strategies align with the core values and then give official approval of the plan. Quality people is very important in an organization. People should be hired that are good teachers, not just having spiritual sensitivity. It's very important, but a person needs to be trained in Christian ed, that they are a very good teacher and they're spiritually sensitive both. A good building plan needs to be from an educational point of view. The cheapest cost, or if it lacks educational functionality, is burdensome for the teachers and can cause many problems for the teacher, always struggling with the facilities. Public relations. This is one of the most important aspects of accreditation, I believe. Parents look at the reputation of a school. Accreditation by a recognized organization guarantees that the colleges in other countries will know your standards and accept your high school transcripts. As the good reputation of a student's success in entering colleges abroad builds, so does your positive public image. These 6 characteristics of a board are valuable in having a quality Christian school. More than half of these responsibilities of the board deal with the future, not the day-to-day operations and positional power. Now I want to look at the authoritative role, which is the positional power, is to hire a competent administrator, to exercise financial responsibility, exercise the final authority, and to follow the government regulations. A competent administrator needs to have high educational qualifications. However, it is very important that the head administrator be allowed to operate as a CEO. This is the secret to a successful school. The administrator is under the authority of the board, but this administrator needs to have full operational responsibility for the day-to-day task of running the school. This may be difficult for strong board chairs or pastors in a Confucian culture. To be successful, though, the school must allow the head administrator the freedom to be in authority. Financial responsibility. Keeping a balance between stepping out in faith to finance a project and keeping within the financial budget is important. Honesty and openness about financial matters is important. No one person, an owner or a pastor, should be getting the large portion of the income. Final authority. Yes, the final authority is with the board. All disagreements with the head administrator should be behind closed doors in executive sessions. Once the disagreement has been handled, The board should be in full support of the head administrator. If there's a problem because of weak administration skills, then the administrator should be released at the end of his term. But until that release, disagreements about non-moral issues should be kept within the board. Obedience to government regulations. As Christians, we are to obey the national laws, unless it is clearly against God's commands. The board must make sure that the reports and financial and legal responsibilities are done correctly. Within the Korean culture, it is often culturally accepted to do acts that are officially illegal. It is a strong statement to the community for a school to not do the culturally acceptable ways, but it is willing to do it God's way. These final responsibilities are important in fulfilling the board's responsibility to have a Christian school with an excellent organization, quality education, and a good public image. From the discussion on the characteristics of a board of a successful Christian school, these are the following 6 reasons that I think should compel every Christian school to work on accreditation from an agency which is independent of the individual education institution. Public image, a reflective mirror, danger of cult thinking, resources, support, and SWOT analysis. The public image. Accreditation provides an image or a standard of excellence to reach potential students and parents. A reflective mirror is difficult to see our own weaknesses, and it's easy to be blinded by what we perceive as success. For example, we have many students, and there's a prophet for the church to use in another area of ministry. It is easy to be tempted in thinking our thoughts are from God and sliding into theology and philosophies based on our own human interpretations. Accountability is necessary for institutions as well as for our own individual lives. Accreditation agency provide a wealth of resources to draw on. Guest consultants, research, literature sharing possible dangers in administration, and successful ways of doing things are part of the benefits of accreditation. A Christian school is a ministry, and if a ministry is fulfilling God's purpose, there will be attacks from Satan that limit our influence. To continue an encouraging atmosphere, support from other school administrators and teachers from the other part of the country and around the world will be advantageous. In addition, there is more power in dealing with national issues that affect the Christian schools when there's more than one voice. Christians may need to work together to change new or existing laws that are not beneficial and even detrimental to the Christian school. A SWOT analysis is about looking at your institution and establishing what is being done well, what is satisfactory but needs improvement, and what is not acceptable in quality. Any school board member will be eager to say that this is the goal. But the problem is, in reality, the busyness and the pressures from day to day, it's easy to push this goal toward the future. We'll do that next year. Or in 2 years we'll do that. But realizing that an accreditation committee will be visiting the school drives the administration and staff to be ready by using their best resources to produce an analysis of the school using a SWOT analysis, which is strengths and weaknesses, opportunities and threats, or another similar reflective exercise. It helps to avoid the temptation to take the easy road and avoid making a detailed study. But I feel there are maybe some cultural implications. Voicing the weakness of administration or the board by the teachers, by the students who are subservient in a Confucian society, this may be difficult to obtain. An outside agency will be able to observe, gain impressions of problems, and be able to verbalize their concern. Leading questions can help provide a framework for recognizing the weaknesses as well as highlighting the strengths. I think this is important because of your cultural standing and critical thinking against a higher authority. In summary, it is important for Christian schools to seek accreditation from an agency outside of their local church or denomination to allow for quality and excellence in schools. Since many Koreans are wanting to be competitive in the global job arena, international agencies will give an objective, reflective questions to guide the Korean Christian school in analyzing their vision and the daily implementation of their educational processes. In addition, accreditation from an agency outside their local church or denomination will assist a school that is being led by a powerful board chairperson, owner, or pastor who are leading for their own benefit and not for the glorification of God and the ministry to the students. It would allow for the opportunity for the moral owners in the school to see the weakness and the danger and give them a reason to tackle the problem and solve it. Thank you.